Guys, I'm Felix the Tutor and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. So today we're gonna be talking about, as you saw on the title, study tips for MAC 3761, MAC 3701, and MAC 3702. Okay, so as you can notice, if you ask those who've been, they'll tell you, or who've been failing the module and repeating it continuously, they'll tell you that what do you call it? They changed the textbook. The textbook is now, there's now a new textbook. They moved from Drury and they moved to another, I think it's Principles of Accounting or something, Principles of Management Accounting, if I'm not mistaken. That change came with the positives and the negatives. So we're going to be talking about some of those positives and some of those negatives. And if you relate to some of the things that I'm be talking about here, like subscribe, you're allowed to share if you'd want, but like, subscribe, comment, let's interact. So with the change that happened, the positives is the book. In my own opinion, the book really, this book, it's more the textbook that they introduced. The textbook is actually now more easier. They're calling it let me get the name for you. Yeah, Principles of Management Accounting, a South African Perspective. So in my own opinion, all these changes, if there's something positive that has come out of it, is the book, because it's a year now into these year modules and most students are now doing the year modules. Is they're phasing out the semester route. So the thing that I appreciate the most in this sense is the book. The book is understandable, because to me it did not make any sense whatsoever having a book in pounds and having a South African student who's gonna be dealing with rands daily. You know, it was, in a way, I felt as if they didn't think it through. Yes, the content in Drury was perfect. The content was, it was filled with content and stuff, but it was difficult for it to be relatable to a South African student, if you understand what I mean. It was difficult for it to be related to someone who's going to, how do you apply it? Because you first have to think about the conversions and stuff. There were pounds in that book and a whole lot of things. So we have to start with the positives. Really, the book, the third edition of the Principles of Management in Accounting, get the book, get the textbook, it's proper. They did the best they could to explain, and most of the things that are there, they are very much understandable. The concepts are very much easy to grasp. But with every positive, there's also a negative. And the negative is you need the book. Yes, you can't go through this module without the textbook. It's different from the previous time when they had a thick study guide where you could go through stuff. They have some explanations, though most of them, they were not really the proper explanations, but they had something. They had a bit of content for you in the study guide, the previous version. But now where we are with these guys, it's something that you have to ignore now, because there isn't any support from the lecturer side, and I'm not sure why they took that stance. And if there's going to be any video, any video tutorials, if there's going to be any tutorials via meetings, Teams and stuff, Hangouts, or whatever platform that UNISA decides, please do yourself a favor, attend those meetings. You have to attend those Teams meetings, because without the book, it's not gonna work. And I wouldn't advise you to also quickly jump onto question bank, as I got another question. Someone was asking me, what's my opinion on the question bank? The question bank is proper, but avoid abusing the question bank. Yes, the question bank is there. It has the questions and the solutions, but how is it gonna help you doing stuff that you don't understand? How is it gonna help you? Because the question bank can prepare you to pass a test. That I can guarantee you. that if you concentrate on it and you concentrate on the questions, then the way that they ask those questions, and you won't grasp anything, but come the exam, you have a fair chance. You have a fair chance because you did the question bank. But in my own opinion, for the sake of learning, it's not an ideal route to take. The question bank is there to prepare you for the exam. So rather use it to prepare for the exam than for you to try and substitute everything and just say, I'm going to solely focus on the question bank. I'm going to solely focus on the question bank. I've come across a lot of students who've given me complaints and complaints because some of these question banks were even referred by tutors or third-party tutors or other people, friends who've passed and said, no, I only used the question bank and I was already right. But don't embrace it for yourself, especially those who are going to go the way to the CA stream. You need to know what you're talking about. You need to know what you're talking about. And trust me, if you don't have the content, it will be very difficult for you in CTA. But if you learn and prepare, like when you're studying knowing that it's a journey. You're still going to go and do CTA, you're still going to go and do your articles, then don't take any shortcuts. It's not really a proper shortcut, because why I would say it's not a proper shortcut, things are changing. And betting on the fact that a paper is going to be repeated, betting on the fact that probably a lecturer is going to do something, they will test you on something similar, betting on that, you're working against yourself. So the positives is the book. The positive is the textbook. If you can get your hands on it, please buy the book and go through the concepts that are there. The way they explained it is far much better than if they left you to do it with Drury. But the downside is the support from the lecturers in form of a study guide is very limited. Some of the chapters I was even shocked because it's just literally directing you to a page. Like they just literally legit wrote the headings of that book as a study guide. Go to this heading, go to this heading, go to this heading, go to this heading, they're done with the chapter. Go to this heading, go to this heading, go to this heading, they're done with the chapter. And I'm wondering, like, what form of lecturing is that? Because yeah, we get the part that the student has to work for themselves, but like it's help the student get there, like give the student some support of some sort. Unless they're gonna be like, okay, there's now going to be online classes and a whole lot of things which I doubt they're going to be consistent at. Probably they'll flood the classes towards the exam time, but you now when you need it, it might not be there because UNISA isn't like built that way. And what happens with a group class. There are 4,000 people or 400 people who can be logged on at the same time. The lecturer won't be able to take all the questions. There might be a communication barrier between this one. It's a lot of things that I feel, in my own opinion, UNISA didn't consider before they went this route. Because honestly, the study guides are horrible. You traded in a good book for study guides. The study guides are now it's useless. It's as good as useless. Yes, it's as good as useless. It's just going to be pointing you the course outlook. That's it. They're not going to give you any explanations. If they do, it's almost a tenth, if not 2/10 of the entire study guide, which is just pages of them referring you to a book. So it becomes tricky unless the authors of this book were UNISA students, unless the authors of Principles of Management Accounting were UNISA students, which I'm not sure. It's easier, but I feel like the faculty, yes, I might be biased, and I understand and I accept the most criticism I'm gonna get from it, but I feel like the faculty really let down the students, and you now have to work extra harder on your own, and there's no more that interface from the book where you can just communicate with the lecturer through the study guide, and the lecturer will be guiding you, but through the study guide all the way to your textbook and what to do. Like, you would feel that, okay, the lecturer is actually helping me and what have you, but in this case, you're just being pointed to a chapter. That's what it feels like. You're just being pointed to a chapter, and it's something that is I wish they struck a bit of a balance, but hopefully they're gonna change. But with the current way that it's looking, is not looking good. You're coming from another institution, you're doing, they call it advanced diploma in financial accounting. Please pay attention to this part. Make sure you download the second level modules of UNISA MAC, right? If you don't download those second level modules of UNISA and you try to just jump on the ship and say, I'm just going to do 1 year, the terminology that we use at UNISA and the terminology you used where you're coming from, they're very different. The terminology part is going to be very different. So when the study guys are still hanging around and they haven't changed them, please just grab a copy, go through it, and it's going to help you. It's going to be very, very much helpful, and you appreciate this video and this advice that I'm giving you, that try as much as you can, grab your hands on those copies, grab your hands on the copies of your second level Mac. So there were 2 study guides. Try to get the oldest the better, around 2018, 2017, 2019 if you could. Try get your hands on that so that at least you are at a better position. You are at a position where you can easily, you can at least understand like the UNISA standard and how UNISA does things. If you are just going to jump on the ship and try to focus with the book and this, with the book and this, it's going to be slightly difficult. But if you're going to go back, oh, I know it's extra work and people don't usually have time, but if you're going to go back, look at the study, look at the video, look at the content on those study guides in 26, then try and apply them using this 3rd edition. It really goes hand in hand well, and it blends well with your studies. But as for me, they traded the book, which was a positive, for the study guide, which is also a very, very much negative. So you win some, you lose some. But now, where do you stand? What do you now have to do? You now have to really focus on this book. And if you don't understand these modules and stuff, don't be afraid to get extra help. Don't be afraid to get additional help. Put it within your budget, put it within even your planning. Like the year is about to start when I'm making this video, it's in April. The semester is just taking off. I mean, put it within your budget to get tutorials. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign that you've been defeated. You actually a great planner. If you get a tutorial, then for you to be stubborn, fail the thing, then only ask for a tutorial after wasting an entire year. So if you really aren't comfortable in it, get a tutorial. But if you have the time, the book is excellent. The book is excellent. And even those who are like doing this module and you're coming from 26 and you're going to 37, don't be too quick to get rid of your study guides for last year or for 26 for your second level. Don't be too quick to dispose of those study guides. Please, if you gave them away, if you packed them away somewhere, you need to go fetch your study guides again, because the information there is going to be very much relevant now. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. Remember, you have to adapt or die. So learn to adapt. UNISA is going in this direction. If this is the direction that they've chosen to take, make sure you follow through. So if there's going to be even like videos from lecturers which they are explaining some of the concepts, please try as much as you can to listen in. Try as much as you can to listen in. And if you don't understand, you can always drop a comment to some of us and we'll make the video for you. And we'll try and also give you a clear or a opinion. But it's a trade-off. Like, it's a trade-off which I feel, in my own opinion, the student is gonna come second best. They could have worked on their study guide just to cater for someone who would not be able to attend the video lessons, because without those video lessons, you're literally reading this book and going to the examination. Please put brakes on question bank. The question bank warriors, please put brakes on it just for now. Like, go through the information within, try to understand your module, and when you're at a place where you can say, okay, now I've finished the module, then you can engage the question bank. Then besides that, remember, you have to subscribe, and you have to drop me a comment, and let's keep this content moving. Thank you.